Right where Nevsky Prospekt meets the Griboyedov Canal, opposite of colonnades of Kazan Cathedral, stands Sina House, an Art Nouveau icon that St Petersburg turned into its living room for books. This corner has been busy for nearly 3 centuries. In the 1740s, a wooden opera house by Rastrelli stood here. Then private mansions passed from hand to hand. In 1900, the American sewing machine company bought the plot for over 1 million rubles. That was a statement purchase on the city's busiest street. The Sina company wanted to build a real skyscraper like their New York headquarters, but in St. Petersburg, no building was allowed to be taller than the Winter Palace, just 23.5 meters. So architect Pavel Suzar found a clever solution. He gave the house 6 floors, then crowned with a glass tower and a shining globe. This way the building looked dramatic without breaking the city's height rules. Back in 1902, the real sensation wasn't just the building itself, it was the tower. A steel frame carried light outer walls and 2 bright atrium under the glass, all equipped with the most advanced features of the time. Heating pioneer Franz Galli added the central heating, ventilation, running water, and even a roof that melted snow. The tower captured everyone's imagination. From inside, it glowed with electric light, still a novelty then. From outside, it carried a glass globe with the words Cine & Co. blazing across it. This became a very first illuminated commercial sign in St. Petersburg. In the evenings, the whole Nevsky Avenue stopped to admire the sign, a glowing ball of light hovering above the rooftops. The corners of the facade are decorated with bronze valkyries. In Scandinavian mythology, these warriors were Odin's daughters and stood for courage, honesty, and justice. But in St. Petersburg, valkyries have a special meaning. Each holds symbolic objects. The first holds a harpoon, a symbol of navigation and heavy industry. The second holds a spindle and rests her elbow on a sewing machine, a clear reference to Singer's products. At the very top of the globe once stood an eagle, a symbol of the United States. But its story turned out to be dramatic. During the First World War, when anti-German sentiment swept through Russia, Sina was accused of espionage. In 1917, the original eagle was taken down, and the figure we see today is only a reconstruction, recreated from old photographs. After the revolution of 1917, the house was nationalized. The American company left Russia, and Soviet publishing firms moved in. Then, in 1938, the legendary Dom Kniги, or in English House of Books, opened its doors. During the siege of Leningrad, the bookstore continued to work. In November 1941, a bomb struck a neighboring building, shattering all of its windows. Yet, just days later, the shop reopened. In the basement, rare volumes from the public library were hidden away to protect them from the bombing. And sometimes people came not even to buy, but simply to stand among the books, because being here gave them the comforting sense that normal life still existed. The Sina House in St. Petersburg also has an unexpected Scottish connection. The company's Russian branch was supplied with sewing machines from the giant Sina factory in Glasgow, opened in 1885. At its peak, it was the largest sewing machine factory in the world, with over 16,000 workers producing more than 1 million machines a year. Many of those machines came here to Russia. During the Second World War, both cities suffered. Leningrad endured the siege, while the Glasgow factory was bombed during the Blitz in 1941, damaged but not destroyed. It carried on, switching from sewing machines to weapons and military equipment. For me, this story is special. I made Glasgow my home, and discovering this connection feels like another bridge between my motherland and my Scottish home. After the war, the building was used by publishing houses and editors. In the Soviet years, the House of Books became a favorite place for the city's writers and thinkers. They came not just for books, but for inspiration. The old building had an atmosphere that sparkled creativity. By the 2000s, the steel frame was badly damaged. A big restoration started. Workers straightened the foundations with thousands of piles, replaced the weak frame with concrete and restored the bronze and the interior. The first floor opened again in 2006. By the 2009, the whole building was shining, with the globe on top. Sinner House stands right on the Polkovsky Meridian, Russia's zero meridian. Maybe that's why it's crowned with a globe, a symbol of the whole world. The building survived great events of the 20th century, revolution, wars, the siege of Leningrad, and the late Soviet years. The globe was taken down and restored several times, but it always returned, continued to shine over Nevsky Avenue. In 2022, after a long legal battle, the House of Books returned to the state ownership and reopened to visitors. The interiors with stained glass windows and Venetian plasters were carefully restored. The new House of Books focused on independent publishers and St Petersburg authors. You can find books that aren't available online, meet young writers, and take part in events. Sinner House is a living part of the St. Petersburg's history. Here, American ambition meet the Russian spirit, practical business meet poetic dreams, and ancient Scandinavian gods meet modern internet technology. And all of this happens under the light of the magical globe, which has been reminding the city for 120 years that the world is much bigger than it looks from the ground. As you may have noticed, the shop today is not only about books. You can also find souvenirs and even special chocolates beautifully decorated with berries and fruit presented in artistic boxes. One section is dedicated to children, offering not just books, but also puzzles, toys, and creative kits to inspire their imagination. Look at those different cakes. There is also a charming cafe serving delicious cakes. Price is a bit higher than usual, but that's understandable given the view from the windows. Even those Russian dolls souvenir as well. Let's see how much are they. So this one is 1,290 rubles, and it's 5 matryoshkas inside. This one looks good. It's 1,590, also 5 Russian dolls inside. And the bigger ones, they all wrapped up as well. 3,650 rubles, and it's 12. More souvenirs in here, cups. And it says St. Petersburg is better than Moscow. I agree. Look at those beautiful cups. St. Petersburg. This one costs 699 rubles, 7 pounds. That must be for the coffee, and it's 369 rubles, made of metal. More cups in here. That's beautiful one presented in a box as well. 720 rubles. And if you want to check if book is available, there are screens where you can search. Just type the book's name and press enter. For over a century, Sinner House has connected past and present, Russia and the world. Its globe still shines, inviting everyone to explore, read and dream.